So we put out a new orchard in 2018. We have peaches, apples, and an Ayers pear that I'd hoped would be cross-pollinated by an old pear on the property. The new pear tree has never even blossomed. I asked the nursery where we purchased the trees about why that might be. I was instructed to be sure to prune the tree in early spring to force the blooms, but so far we have no blooms. Why is my pear tree not blooming? What can I do to make it bloom? And this is Sandra. So this is an interesting question. We talked about this a little earlier.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And there's several things, you know, I'm not sure where Sandra lives. Right. I'm not sure what zone she's in. I do know that the Ayers pear requires only 300 chill hours. So it's very, very low chill hour period. You know, it does very good in the southern United States, extreme southern United States.
And what do we mean by chill hours, just in case somebody...
Chill hours are the number of hours below 45 degrees that a lot of fruits have to have. They have a set number of chill hours they have to have. I mean, peaches are from 300, 250 to 1,000, 1,200 chill hours. So you need to make sure that when you plant any fruit that you check the chill hour requirements and match them to the zone that you live in.
All right, good point.
And that's very, very important with fruits especially. Now another thing on pears, and I've got a couple of pears in my yard.
I actually have one as well.
And I have one that fruits very good, and I have one that doesn't fruit well at all. And they're a little different. They do not require very much fertilizer. A rule of thumb on fertilizer for pear trees is 3/4 of a pound. Now this is from my old days at Auburn. 3/4 of a pound of 888 per tree per year of age, up to a maximum of 7 pounds for an older tree. You never give more than 7 pounds of 888, which is not very much fertilizer for an old tree, but 3/4 of a pound of 888 per tree per year of age. So if your pear tree is in your yard and you fertilize your yard, or if you're fertilizing your pear tree the same way you're fertilizing your apple trees, your peach trees, and other trees, you're giving it too much fertilizer. And so it's going vegetative instead of reproductive. And that could be a problem with pears. So you treat pears a little different.
What about pollination?
They do require cross-pollination, but if it's not, a bloom's not showing up, you know, pollination's not going on. But they do require cross-pollination, and you need to have a pear tree that blooms at the same time that this one is blooming. And but they're saying there are no blossoms showing up, no blossoms, and so that's why I didn't, you know, that's. But they do require cross-pollination, and that is probably part of the problem with the pear that I have. I have 2 pears. One of them gets pollinated, probably not by the pear that's not blooming, and I don't think it's got one blooming around within honeybee flight distance that is probably blooming at the same time it blooms. But that's very important with pears also.
Sure. But the fertilizing, that's I didn't think about that.
But that's really the only thing I can think of. I'd make sure you're not over fertilizing. I mean, if you're fertilizing your yard heavy, you got a pretty yard around that pear tree, then that tells me that that could be part of your problem.
Too much fertilizer.
And another thing would be, I doubt that that if you planted this tree up north, it would break dormant. When it got its 300 chill hours, the first warm spell it had, if it's in January, it's going to break dormancy and it's going to.
Which happens.
And then it's probably going to get killed.
Right.
Because if it's breaks dormancy and then the temperature drops to 20 degrees or 10 degrees, it's probably not going to survive up north. So probably in the zone where the air should work. But even a 300-hour pear up here in Tennessee, this far north, this is on the northern edge of where that zone is, could create a problem with years like we had this past year. I mean, how many ornamentals have we seen? How much freeze damage have we seen after that late that late freeze that we had.
Devastating.
It has been very devastating. So I don't know. And now another thing I don't know about this, the tree is 5 years old.
5 years old.
The tree's 5 years old, okay. I don't know how old a Ayers pear is when it starts blooming.
Ah, okay.
So it may need to be 6 or 7 years old.
Right.
You know, I know there's some pecans that they've got to have several years on them before they start, blooming and producing fruit.
Thanks for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed. To subscribe, click below.